She didn't need a better workout plan. She needed a reason to keep following her plan. So we made this one simple change that changed the game for her. We made a jar and we told her to put $1 into the jar every time she worked out. Now, this person is super cool, super great. They wouldn't mind me sharing the story. They came to me and they kept finding it hard to stick with the workouts. They were doing online training and a little bit of in person training. Every time something came up, they would either uh, get sideswiped and just not work out at all. There'd be hit and miss. Out of every four workouts, they would do like one or two, maybe. So we had to talk. Hey, are the workouts too hard? No. Are they too long? No. Do you not like them? No. So we're sitting talking. All of a sudden, I remember this from just seeing children raised or seeing even pets raised. What gets repeated uh, gets rewarded. What gets rewarded gets repeated. So I said, hey, how about we do this? Could you put $1 into a jar every time you work out? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay, put the jar somewhere where you see it every day. And I said, hey, even get creative. Put like some sticky notes on the jar and just call it like Slim Fit, whatever you want to call that jar. Just put some sticky notes and just put the jar and so where you could see it. So she said, okay. And this blew my mind, but it blew her mind. Within 30 days, she had got $21 into that jar, which means she was way more consistent than she's ever been. And I said, what changed? You still had the same demands on your life. You still had the same schedule. The workouts were the same. She said, I kept doing it because I knew I was going to put money into that jar. And what we call that, and how we coach or how I coach is the, let me put it a better way for you. How we see this principle is what gets rewarded gets repeated. If you never reward yourself for something that you're trying to do or get better at, you're probably not going to stick with it for long. Like I know nowadays we are just telling people if you really wanted it, you would go after it. You don't want it bad enough. Those things are cool. But to really grow, you need to feel that your efforts are being they're valuable. And by just putting $1 or 50 cents in a jar every time you do something, it can be working out, it can be communicating better with your spouse. You're just training your mind. You're just kind of like it is behavior training and it's identity training. I'm a person who works out, I'm a person who does this, and this is the reward. This is how I know that I'm seeing the reward. Now, here's the thing I told her to do with the money. I said, hey, you can go spend the money on food and stuff like that. I said, but how about you go and get yourself a fitness item, maybe a shirt or something like that. So we see the reminder all the time. You see the reminder all the time. So now we're just reinforcing two things. What gets rewarded gets repeated. The second thing is when she sees the item on her or around her that she bought with that money, it just reinforces her identity. I am a person who's consistent. I am a person who works out. For you, think about the area that you feel that you need to be consistent in and ask yourself, how could I set up small rewards so that I don't get burnt out and so that I can obey the principle that is what gets rewarded gets repeated. It doesn't have to be something humongous. Something that I used to do was after every 60 days, at that time, I don't do it anymore. I'd buy myself a pair of sneakers. I loved sneakers. So I would just be chunking money away, right? It's probably a financial habit people can do too. I was chunking money away, and when I got to a certain amount in a certain amount of days, I would go buy the sneakers. And every time I saw the sneakers, I remember working towards that goal. Yes, some days I didn't want to do it. Yes, some days it felt hard. But at the end of the day, it was me telling myself I can do this, but I showed myself that too. So the principle that you want to think about when it comes to this is what gets rewarded gets repeated. In our school group, an online group that we have, helping people stop restarting. One thing that we ask them is like, how are you going to reward yourself? How are you going to Make sure you see that what you're doing, it's important for your identity. It's important to change your behavior. It's important to be able to move forward. So my question for you is, what are you going to do today? Are you going to do the jar? Maybe 50 cents, maybe a dollar, maybe $5, whatever you want to do. I want you to do it because I want you to actually realize what gets rewarded gets repeated. Be good. Be great.